Hello, everybody. This is Gregory M. Voles of Northwest UFO Chasers. This will be the new radio broadcast, part 11. We're going to call this Freeform Friday. We're going to talk about a bunch of different stuff. All kinds of crazy stuff's going on, man. That Julian Assange, WikiLeaks. I'm going to tell you about some documents that are being released. Basically, Julian has just mentioned the documents, okay? He's just the releaser. He's not the creator. But in these documents is going to be physical proof and evidence of the existence of intelligent alien life. So I hope you stick around. We'll be right back after the break. Okay, thanks for sticking around. Okay, let's jump back into this. And we were talking about Julian Assange and the release of WikiLeaks documents. And basically, Exopolitics' position is that Julian doesn't mention much about UFOs, but what most people are not realizing is Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, they are just the receivers and of the documents, and then they release the documents. So, but there are some strange things happening here, and this I find so interesting, that WikiLeaks, when they released state documents of a confidential nature about diplomatic meetings and things, that really got the United States government upset. And Julian is got some documents that he's received from some sources talking about some UFO evidence, physical evidence, and documented material evidence. And it's located in some safes around the world, and it's of it's of a verifiable nature. Anyway, there was a lot of scrambling going on all of a sudden, because Belgium and Brazil and Russia and a lot of countries, Great Britain included, were releasing their UFO research material and basically calling this disclosure. And when that happened, that sent waves through the United Nations Security Council department, and there was some interchange between the diplomatic problems that were raised in the Julian Assange case, and they started to talk about needing plans in case we were to meet species external to this world. And that's exactly what transpired. Was they began to develop committees and draft treaty ideas for this interchange with intelligent alien life from outer space. If it showed up, this was going to be their master plan, and then people started to begin to ask, do you want the President of the United Nations currently to be the representative for the planet Earth? And we've got a multitude of Guardian Alliance out there, and Raelians, and a lot of people that follow the Melchizedek philosophies, and we've got Ashiana Dean, and there are, but I personally sit as a generalist over the entire thing and take the truth out of the evidence that is being presented through this video documentary experience in my library of all of this collected alien proof data. And anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. We're gonna come right back. I'm gonna start. We'll hang in there. We'll be right back after the break. Okay, thanks for sticking around. Yeah, I know that's what I was just talking about there leads into uh, the subjects of like astral body space projection, and I know that sounds kind of strange, but it suddenly occurred to me that looking at everything from a generalized perspective and getting way out there, I began to see that we were these light-orbed essences or light-bodied essences, and we were moving through time, and we know that because we're all getting older. And but if what I'm saying is that, and then we're looking at the stars out there, and we're seeing the stars, and they keep telling us that those stars that we see are backwards in time, and it began to occur to me that those are actually truly, and I mean this, our ancient ancestors, light body essences, and that same vision going outward into the third dimensional universe, we can take and go inward through quark particulate atomic molecular structure, and it's actually going downward. We go down toward quarks, and terminology in quantum physics that talks about the smallest particles. And going into the atomics, we have the electrons and positrons and neutrons, and there's a lot of work in atomic physics with gravitons. All the particles of, we have for electromagnetism and gravity, and then, the strong and weak atomic forces, which are the basic four principles of the expanding and contracting universe theories. So, what really I am saying is that through a movement in time, which we will call time displacement, and I will represent that as T equals V small x d, we are currently in the third dimensional universal realm of known existence that we can see, but mathematics is telling us there are 11 dimensions. And quite simply, going from the third to the fifth dimension is a transportation of time, which is the fourth itself, it turns out, and it's a perfect wormhole in the fabric of time and space that we live in here and now. And the correlation is through the endocrine glandular systems of the human body, and that includes gonad, thalamus, thyroid, adrenal, pituitary, and ultimately culminating in the fluid-filled, pinecone-shaped pineal gland, which is representative of the third eye in the middle of the forehead. And as you begin to find the right extra low frequency transmission band, which is in spectrums of music to give you a clue, you can begin to meditate and resonate, reaching these endocrine glandular points of the human body, coming up and neuron transmittingly get the energy to flow through a kundalini process up the spine, touching these adrenal, pituitary, thyroid, thalamus, ultimately pineal. And once the enlightenment of the pineal occurs, you feel a separation of the physical, and you begin to understand the extraordinary conscious state of the universe, both the centralized conscious state of the universe and the material distributed light-bodied essence universe, connected through time and space. And what I want to say is hang in there, because I have a message that is woven and interconnected between an ancient Sumerian culture who followed Zoroastrianism, but I don't want everybody to run away when I say that, because it sounds weird, yes, but according to these Bastoon reliefs and carvings in cuneiform, there was a story that was translated to several different languages. It's sort of like a Rosetta Stone, and it has indicated genetic DNA modification. Anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that Buddha, Krishna, Jesus Christ, and Ezekiel, Adamu, Adam, Joshua, Jacob, Isaac, Muhammad, and many prophets throughout time understood this vision of us within the universe, and that movement of your light body essence or soul is known as transcendence and ascendance, moving forward in time and space. All right, we'll wrap it up at that, man. I know that was a deep one, man. Woo! Okay, so let me know what you guys think, and we'll leave it at that. Freeform Friday. Okay, so again, hey, thanks. Man, it's pretty exciting stuff actually when you get into it. But the thing is I really need to point this out now. It's important that you actually, go research out and find the timeline on the website. It's pretty easy to find. And understand that, again, we don't have all the answers. And yes, I did coin the term, you too can learn to high frequency resonate your pineal gland for inter and hyperdimensional space travel. And if you're capable of saying that and you find one of my books, you instantaneously get an autograph free, right on the spot. And I've got several people on my list. Now, I predicate everything with what I say with, yes, I am a science fiction writer, but most of my science fiction is based in science fact. And we are theoretically conjecturing a lot of material. We're looking at it from a generalized perspective. We're utilizing the timeline. I have collected a multitude of videos on UFOs, aliens, and the paranormal on the Northwest UFO Chasers website. And really, just go there and have a lot of fun looking at the different videos. Realize that it's in transition continuously because people are putting stuff up and taking stuff down, and we're trying to stay on top of it and keep those links good for you. Join our group on Facebook and write directly on the wall. If you've had an abduction experience, Mary Rodwell of Great Britain's Exopolitics did a fabulous research study and a presentation on abductees. And we have quite a few members in our group are having experiences. Lots of people are seeing UFOs, craft flying in the air, and we have some incredible video footage that supposedly President Obama was going to address that was taken in Israel. And it looked just like a spacecraft shooting straight up into the air. Periodically, I go into my astral body space projections, and we're going to talk about quite a bit of that into the future. And I have made a prediction that Justin Bieber in the year 2017 will be uniting the world in song and music. I know that sounds kind of strange, but on one of my astral space body flights to Atlas in the galaxies of Pegasus, I had to go to the universal librarian of medical knowledge and ask a specific DNA chromosomal switch set question about a particular individual, and I received an answer, and it turns out that levitation, and which is basically walking on water, instantaneous body healing, which is laying on of hands, atomic matter manipulation, which is feeding the masses, and then telepathy, telepathic communication through extra low frequency digital transmission bands, which has already been proven by HAARP. And anyway, I find it interesting that supposedly our genetic DNA modification were made to certain humans by extraterrestrial intelligence, and the awakening of that DNA will move us toward those four things that I just mentioned as we progress toward the year 2012. So it's going to be pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know about you, but I appreciate it. Go to the website, Northwest UFO Chasers radio broadcast. This will be the end. Thanks a lot for listening to me. Have a good weekend. Have a good day. Have a good month. Enjoy yourselves. Thanks for listening to me. And please, come and join our group and leave some comments. But not too much criticism, because we don't like those big criticizers. Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.